Hey guys, welcome back to TTMR, and we're back with me and Sean, and today we will be reviewing episode 3 of Moonknight, titled The Friendly Type.
At the start of the episode, we are presented with an Arthur hero who has found the Tomb of Ammit, which is a large leap in his plans to resurrect the god. While this is going on, Stephen and Mark fight back and forth over control of the body as they look for Ammit's tomb and find a way to halt Arthur's plans. Khonshu feels like they should have a meeting with the gods to find Arthur guilty of trying to revive Ammit and be punished. To do this, he causes an eclipse in the sky to get the attention of the gods. We are introduced to a scene where the personas of the gods are taken control by their respective gods, with Khonshu yelling at his fellow gods explaining how Arthur is trying to revive Ammit. Because of how big that claim is, Arthur is brought to the pyramid, where he's tried but is convincing enough to the gods to be declared innocent. Hero brings up how Mark is suffering, as did he when he was with Khonshu, which Mark grudgingly admits but stays firm to his claim that Arthur is guilty. When this plan fails, one god, Yatsu, decides to try and help Mark and Khonshu on stopping Ammit's revival. She does this by directing Mark to Anton Mogart, who is in possession of the coffin of Senfu. On this journey, Layla and Mark share a beautiful boat scene before reaching Anton. Layla, who is able to convince Anton to let them see the coffin, leaves Mark alone so that he can figure it out. Anton here realizes what is happening and attacks Mark and Layla. This forces Mark to suit up as Moonknight and beat them all up in an epic scene, which is interrupted halfway through with Stephen trying to stop Mark from hurting people, but he only ends up getting destroyed immediately and lets Mark back in the body.
With the map Mark retrieved from the coffin, he and Layla drive away into a blank desert, where Layla insists that Mark needs to let Stephen in to help them. Finally, Mark complies, looking in a mirror as he does so. Stephen is able to figure out the map quite quickly actually, but comments that the stars align with how they looked at the night the map was made, which was a very, very long time ago. They could not use it with the current night sky because the stars had shifted to where it would not give them an accurate position. Khonshu, however, in a last-ditch effort, turns back the sky. As he does this, the other gods gather and seal him away in a climactic end of the episode.
Watching this episode was absolutely fantastic. I loved how we got to meet all the other gods and see how they contributed to the rest of the episode, like Yatsu telling Mark where to find the sarcophagus of another god that had mapped the location of Ammit's tomb. It was just so awesome just to see all of the connection between all these different gods, since up until this point we really didn't get anything else but Khonshu and the spoken word of Ammit. Comparing this to the other episodes, I really like how it broadens the idea of including more and more gods and making them more important to the story, which I find extremely interesting. This episode also covered a lot of ground, since not only does Arthur now know where the tomb is and is already trying to find Ammit, but now our protagonists also know where it is, which now starts the race of who's going to find Ammit first.
Again, like the 2 episodes prior, this episode is perfect. The character development we see is fantastic. And Mark and Stephen working together? I never thought I'd see that happen. I also love the amazing visuals in this episode. Like, look at this. Now we know where all the budget went. We got some amazing fight scenes, and in one of them, we get to see just how well Layla can handle herself in a bad situation. And speaking about Layla, I love how we see subtle moments where we get to see the love Mark has for her.
I rated this episode with a 10 out of 10, and Max also rated this episode with a 10 out of 10. Combining these scores together, we of course get a 10 out of 10 or 100%. Partnered with the score from the first 2 episodes of Moonknight that we've already reviewed on the channel, simply shows how amazing this show is as a whole.
Wrapping this all up, wow, how did this episode surpass not only the first, but the second episode as well? Again, the character development we see is fantastic. Mark and Stephen are finally beginning to work with each other. The action is top notch as usual, and my personal favorite part of this episode is the showing of the last altar, Jake Lockley. We finally get to see him, but not really. It's the same thing that happened in episode 1, where we see the change but don't find out who it is till the next episode. And dude, that cliffhanger. I love how we get to see Khonshu be sealed away for breaking the rules of the gods.
Anyways, that has been our review of the 3rd episode of Moonknight, and remember that this is just our opinion, so you don't necessarily have to believe everything that's said here.
We hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. And if you enjoyed, you could like or subscribe to help us out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.